No, it's a testament to your power, man, and your presence, brother. And I'm really blessed to be here, man.
Yeah, we've talked about it many times. The integration or the close, tightly knit relationship of Mike and hip hop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk a little bit more about that, man.
I mean, I think it was, it was a combination of how powerful he came into the scene and how viciously he disposed of his opponents. And it's like, as a hip hop artist, as somebody that wants to have that same kind of presence, it was like the comparison was so, it was like the go-to thing, you know what I'm saying? And so, people still understand the importance of sports and hip hop and how it goes hand in hand. There's a running joke that sports, basketball players want to be rappers and rappers want to be basketball players,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And so I think with Mike, it was just so powerful, like I said, and so legendary what his career created, and it's like it's never be duplicated, so that's why hip hop is so intrigued with that, yeah.
I never looked at my life from that perspective. I just knew hip hop was a way of life that we were living, and normally all the people when I first heard hip hop, I was locked up in a reformatory, and we heard it on the radio in the bathrooms, Rapper's Delight, right? And so we went absolutely crazy because before then we would always bring our turntables out in the park or somewhere in the center, and we would play our own music that everybody hated. Normally, everybody playing the Stylistics and stuff, Diana Ross, but everybody hated this hip hop because it was as if we were screaming, but it's not. We were just making our statement, not unbeknown to ourselves. We were making a statement without even knowing. Yeah.
So, hip hop kind of came. The earliest of it was off at the end of disco, that era, like late 70s was the beginning of hip hop.
Yes. I was born in 74, right? And so my first encounter with hip hop was Rapping Duke. And then don't. Jam on it. That was real dancing song. Those were like my first encounters with hip hop, and then as I got introduced to it, my older brother, he was the first one to bring home the Run DMC Raising Hell cassette. It was a green cassette, and then I started listening to that, and then he had a Kango that I was never allowed to wear his Kango or use his wave brush, but every time he left, that's exactly what I did. I put it on, I take off my shirt, and I try to emulate, LL. You know what I'm saying? Like those were like the real grassroots approach that I learned hip hop through.
I can remember when Biz Markie and Fresh Prince, Will Smith was on the same crew.
Yeah.
They used to be the same crew together. Yeah.
Wow.
I went to see them perform one day. It probably was 1986, 85. It was in Hartford, Connecticut. I went to see him perform everybody was there.
Really?
Yeah, it was Will Smith, Biz Markie.
That's dope.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts, bro.
Hell yeah.
I love to hear how Mike, you were so influenced by hip hop, and the relationship was mutual in that way.
Well, listen, we were all, that was the, if you were listening to hip hop in 1980, let's say 85, 86, back then, if you were listening to it back then, you're pretty much of an outsider in society. You know what I mean? You're a different person to listen to that music. No one knew what these people were saying.
And now it's the biggest genre. It's taken over pop music. It's become the new pop music. DJs have definitely developed and evolved over time.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they're now the front man.
Before they were the back man.
Yeah, exactly.
Now they're the front man.
Interesting, man.
And that's all works out. That's just all from the my belief, all this stuff just comes from the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be second. Everybody's going to be first, but it's going to be in their time.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have their chance to be first. Everybody's not going to be number two or in the back seat forever.
Yeah. That's dope.
Absolutely, man.
Can I fire one of these?
Absolutely, brother. Help yourself.
We're talking to
Sorry.
you, so we forget.
Here, man. You got one?
I'm like, everybody's smoking but me.
Sorry, X, dude. My bad, man.
No
That's
worries.
my bad. That I should have offered first thing.
I think let's look at it, right? Hip hop is what, the 20th century, really?
Yep.
So I think it's one of the biggest inventions in the 20th century.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's designed by people who didn't have much, and who didn't have the access to the big equipment or the big marketing or the big promotion. It was kids that wanted a voice and created something with what they had. And with that, it just turned into a whole beast. And it's been, saving families, telling our stories, being able to get things out into the open and issues that we have that nobody else is paying attention to. Before the internet, it was music, and music told those stories, and it told about the environment and what these people were going through. And so we've inherited something that wasn't there before, and that's really dope. That's kind of what Mike was saying. It definitely changed people's lives. Hip
hop gives people more than any other music I heard so far. Besides the rave type of music, right? It gives people, it gives them soul.
Yeah.
Connects them with their soul.
People who never really possessed the soul, people who appeared that they didn't possess the soul, all of a sudden become soulful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever the situation soul goes, he becomes soulful. The energy could be how it turns out. I don't know anything about the energy, how it turns out, but he possesses soul.
Yeah. I totally know what you mean, man.
I think what's really interesting about the evolution of hip hop right now is that for a long time we didn't understand it. It was a music business, and we were just excited about making music, right? But now there's more interest in the business side of things, and we have more people that are starting to invest in themselves. And I think owning the business is something new for us. And so going forward, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a step up from, what we've been doing in the 90s and early 2000s and late 2000s. Is ownership is more prominent in hip hop. So you got people that are starting these labels, making more favorable deals, being able to do more for their communities with these things and these entrepreneurial ideas that they have. And so I'm interested to see what the next 10 years is going to look like with that mind state, with that attitude when it comes to hip hop and its artists.
You are a super influential piece in the transition of hip hop as counterculture into the mainstream. You were helping people and making like fucking dope ass cars out of these like shitty, some dude has like a shitty van and you turn it into just like the ultimate.
I used to say to myself, I should send my car down this again.
I used to think that too.
I didn't want the whole world to know Mike got his car and told me I should send my car down.
Hell yeah.
Word to my mother, I used to say that I should put my car down there so they do something with this.
I don't know, man. That's just how
Tell
I
us,
see
brother,
you.
where are you from?
Well, I was born in Detroit in the 74